Hey there, my name is Chris, the Novice Dungeoneer. Today we're going to talk about concentration, stealth, and death. Now, if you like my content, feel free to put a like, subscribe, and if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, feel free to leave them below. Now, we're going to start with concentration, which is needed for certain spells or, well, basically spells. Now, there are several factors that's going to break your concentration. That's going to be casting another spell that requires concentration. So, new spell. A concentration basically covers maybe multiple turns depending on how powerful the spell might be. Or you take damage. And when that happens, you need to succeed on a constitution saving throw to keep it going. And then the third thing that's going to affect concentration is overwhelmed by an enormous distraction like wave crashing into you, which means you gotta succeed on a DC 10. Basically, you roll a d20 and you gotta go over 10 points to on concentration on Constitution to make sure that you don't lose your concentration. So basically, you're mentally overwhelmed. Now, for stealth, if someone can see you, you can't attempt to hide from them. Kind of like real life. Now, once you're hidden, you can be detected through sight. Now, they can roll a perception check. Thanks. So basically, for stealth, if seen, impossible. Imagine trying to hide from somebody that's already saw you and watched you go behind a curtain. Now, if you're hidden and they roll, they don't even have to roll. Your stealth roll just has to be higher than their passive wisdom. Now, as you see here, passive wisdom is 13 because the wisdom modifier plus 10 comes up to 13, which means if someone's going to do a stealth check against you, they got to roll a d20 higher than 13 with their modifier. So that covers stealth. Now, we're going to cover the one thing a lot of people don't really deal with too much, and that is death. Now, there are two. Now, you got instant death, which means your damage is reduced. You are reduced to 0 points. And the damage remaining from that strike is equal or greater than your your hit points. Well, the maximum hit points would. This is a level 1 character, so maximum hit points is 8. So it's got to be greater or equal to your max HP for instant death. Now, and if damage reduces to 0 points and it fails to kill you, you fall unconscious. Now, this ends if you regain any hit points, and there are two ways to do that. You get healed, or you take a long rest. It doesn't matter what your condition, as long as you're not poisoned or anything of that nature, as long as you take a long, if you take a long rest, you're cleared from any condition, almost, and you get full hit points. Now, if you were to start at 0 hit points, you roll a d20, 10 or higher, you succeed. Now you gotta succeed 3 saving, that's called saving throw. You gotta do 3 saving throws just to be stable. Now, if you make a death saving throw and roll a 1 on the d20, it counts as 2 failures. If you roll a 20 on the d20, you regain 1 hit point and become conscious. Now, if you take damage at 0, you suffer a death saving throw failure. And if the damage is from a critical hit, you suffer 2 failures. And if that damage equals or exceeds your hit point maximum, you suffer instant death again. Now, this will be the last instructional video on how to play, but I'm going to be doing some shorts on each of the 12 classes in D&D, and I'm going to use it as an instruction manual on the best way to play the character. Now, as I put it, it's make-believe with a rule book and a referee, so there is no wrong way, but if you're going to go for immersion, you might as well do the best that you can. So, until next time, live, laugh, and game responsibly.